Philadelphia news, team of my heart.
Sixers news, trade rumors, and a blockbuster debate that could change everything. You've seen the Sixers struggle. You've felt the frustration. And now there's a trade idea that could shake Philly to its core. Tyrese Maxey for Zion Williamson? Would you do it? Injuries, uncertainty, and a desperate front office. Is this the Sixers' last shot at a title? You won't believe the reaction from Sixers fans. Stick around until the end and sound off in the comments. Alright, let's get into it. Sixers news, trade rumors, and a debate that's got fans fired up. Philadelphia is in a nightmare scenario right now. You know it. I know it. The front office? They're feeling the pressure. You watch this team go all in last off-season, bringing in Paul George, locking down Tyrese Maxey, and surrounding them with a mix of experience and youth. It was supposed to work. It was supposed to be the Sixers' year. Instead, here we are, injury after injury, setback after setback. Joel Embiid, your MVP. The heart and soul of this franchise has been battling a relentless string of knee issues. Paul George, a non-factor for most of the season. And now, this team is sinking fast. You've seen the standings. A team built to contend is now looking at lottery odds. And then comes the question, the uncomfortable, controversial, franchise-shifting question: should the Sixers trade Tyrese Maxey for Zion Williamson? Think about it. It's not as crazy as it sounds. New Orleans is on the verge of a full reset after yet another season of injuries, inconsistency, and front office frustration. Zion Williamson, once seen as a generational talent, is still electric when healthy. But there's the problem. When healthy, his durability concerns have the Pelicans questioning his future. And the Sixers? They need a shake-up. So, you tell me, is this a gamble worth taking? Let's break it down. On pure talent, Zion is the better player. He's an unstoppable force when he's on the floor, a wrecking ball in the paint, and a playmaker unlike anything the Sixers have. He's a top 15 player when right. Maxey. He's the heart of this team. You love him. He brings energy, passion, consistency. But is he a true one option? Can you build a championship team around him? Because that's the situation staring this front office in the face. Embiid's health is a ticking clock. Paul George isn't getting younger. If this team wants to win now, they need a move that shifts the power balance. Zion does that. And it's a but he comes with risk. Huge risk. The Sixers have had their fill of injuries. Are you really ready to bet it all on another injury-prone star? And then there's the fan reaction. Oh, the fan reaction. The Sixer Sense podcast ran a poll on this very trade idea. 87% of fans shut it down immediately. Only 13% were even willing to entertain the idea. That tells you everything about how much Maxey means to this fan base. So, what's the move? Play it safe and stick with Maxey, knowing that it might mean more years of second-round exits, or roll the dice on Zion, hoping that if he stays healthy, he can be the guy who puts this team over the top. Your thoughts? Right now, would you trade Tyrese Maxey for Zion Williamson? Sound off in the comments. What does this mean for you and the Sixers? It means every single game, every possession, every move on the court is going to carry more weight than ever. There's no margin for error. You've seen it before when this team clicks, when the chemistry is right. They can take down anyone. But when things get shaky, when execution slips, that's when the questions start piling up. And right now, the questions are coming fast. How do you maximize this roster? How do you get the best version of every player night in and night out? And most importantly, who steps up when the pressure is on? It starts with the stars. You know Joel Embiid. You know what he's capable of. But dominance isn't just about putting up numbers, it's about setting the tone. Controlling the flow of the game. Making sure no team ever feels comfortable against you. That's what Embiid has to do every single night. He can't just be great, he has to be unstoppable. You've seen it before. Those nights when he looks like the most dominant force in the league. But you've also seen the moments where fatigue creeps in, where double teams slow him down, where the rhythm just isn't there. That's the difference between a great season and a championship season. And then there's Tyrese Maxey. You've watched him grow. You've seen the flashes of brilliance, but now it's no longer about flashes, it's about consistency. Can he be that second option every single night? Can he be the guy who takes over when Embiid is off the floor? Can he break down defenses, control the pace, make the right reads under pressure? The potential is there. You've seen it. But now it has to translate into winning at the highest level. The supporting cast is just as critical. You need players who know their role and execute it to perfection. You need shooters who can hit big shots in big moments. You need defenders who take pride in shutting down the opposition. Every piece has to fit. And right now, the Sixers are still figuring out which pieces belong. That's the challenge building a team that can handle the grind of the season and still have enough left for the playoffs. The coaching staff plays a massive role here. Strategies, rotations, in-game adjustments, every decision matters. You remember games where a single substitution changed everything. That's how fine the margins are. One wrong move, one bad stretch, and suddenly momentum is gone. That's why the Sixers need to be locked in from top to bottom. But let's talk about mentality. Talent alone isn't enough. You've seen teams loaded with stars fall apart because they didn't have the right mindset. Winning at the highest level takes more than skill, it takes resilience, toughness, an unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you're going to find a way to win. That's what separates good teams from great ones. And that's what you need to see from this Sixers squad. You know the history. You know the heartbreak. You've been through it all, the highs, the lows, the what-ifs. And now, here you are, again, hoping, believing, waiting for the moment when everything finally comes together. The question is, will this be the year? Will this be the team that finally breaks through? The potential is there, but potential doesn't win championships, execution does. And that's why every game from this point on matters. Every possession, every decision, every adjustment, it all adds up. You've seen seasons slip away because of little mistakes that added up over time. That can't happen again. Not this time. Not when the opportunity is right in front of you. The path to success is clear, but walking it, that's the hard part. That's where teams prove whether they're contenders or pretenders. And right now, it's time for the Sixers to prove where they stand. Why should you believe in this team? Because you've seen what they're capable of. When everything clicks, when the execution is sharp, when the energy is right, this Sixers squad is dangerous. You've watched them dismantle top teams. You've seen Embiid dominate, Maxey electrify, the supporting cast step up. The blueprint for success is right there. The question is, can they follow it? Can they sustain it? Can they take everything they've built and push it to the next level? There's no more room for excuses. You've heard them all before: injuries, chemistry issues, bad breaks. But the reality is simple. Champions don't make excuses, they find solutions. If this team wants to take that next step, if they want to be more than just a good regular season squad, they have to find those solutions. That means tightening up the defense, making smarter decisions in crunch time, and handling adversity like a team that refuses to be denied. And that means you need to see the killer instinct, the great teams, the ones that actually win it all, don't just play well when things are going their way. They impose their will, they take over games. They find ways to win even when the shots aren't falling, even when the calls aren't going their way, even when the other team is playing out of their minds. That's what separates contenders from champions. And that's what the Sixers have to prove they can do. You've seen the heartbreak in the past. You know how it feels to watch a season full of promise and in disappointment. You know what it's like to believe, to hope, and then to be left wondering what could have been. That's why this season is different, because the time for waiting is over. The time for maybe next year is gone. This is the window. This is the moment. and this team has to seize it. But what do you think? Do you believe this Sixers team has what it takes? Do you see them making the leap from contenders to champions? Or are there still too many questions? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you're a real Sixers fan, if you live and breathe this team, then you need to stay locked in. This is going to be a season full of twists, turns, and moments you won't want to miss. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and make sure you're always up to date with the latest Sixers news. This is your team. This is your season. And you don't want to miss what's coming next.